it's your girl, Coach T, coming to you live here on Monday evening, as we do every single Monday for another episode of SheSpeaksTV. And tonight...
I'm not going to do you like that. Other side with the mask. See? They saw
See?
I got your back. Don't worry about it.
Man, I'm telling y'all, I'm excited tonight. I got my homeboy in the building, and I am so grateful because he's super duper busy. But this gentleman is a son. He is a father. He went from employee to employer. He is a coach and author 2 times over. He's got a baby on the way. He's just an amazing leader amongst leaders, and truly he continues to build systems and tools to help entrepreneurs be their best selves. And so tonight, SheSpeaksTV, please welcome the CEO, owner of Sleep is for Suckers, and Mr. David Never Sleeps Shands. How are you this evening?
Awesome. Thanks for asking. Happy to have, this is nice. This is really, really nice. Just really professional. I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And of course, I tell people relax. We get very candid tonight. We show the shoes. So can we celebrate your shoes?
I'm on.
I know you said you wear these every day. David wears his same shoes every day, but
I literally pick out the. It's not like a matching thing. It's like whatever looks easiest to slip on. I rock them good.
Well, I love it. Well, I'm nosy, so I'm kid inquisitive, and so obviously you and I have shared so many platforms together, but I've never had a chance to really tap in and dig in deep into your mind and really to extract some things that other people need to hear. And so from the Caribbean, here in Caribbean Life TV and all around the world, we get to dig in.
I'm ready. I think.
You think?
How far are we digging in now?
Oh, we got 55 minutes.
I'm digging. All right.
Yeah, let's dig. Let's dig.
Prepare my heart and my mind.
Get it right
Let's
and let them use you. So tell me, who is David? Because to the audience watching tonight, who is David? We know, when I was in network marketing for over 10 years, it was Red Eye Nation. And then you popped up on the scene, and I, for a long time, didn't realize you were even the owner of the brand. And I was like, yo, there is this Sleep is for Suckers. And that is so me, because if you were sleeping, you were literally not making any money. Yep. And so it was like, we were calling ourselves Red Eye Nation. But when I saw Sleep is for Suckers, I was like, yo, it speaks. Man. It's like, it's right in alignment. So who is David? How did all of you, who you are now, how did all this come about?
I am a husband, I'm a father, I am an entrepreneur at the heart. I mean, just to be able to, I believe that there are opportunities all around us, and almost to a fault, I go get every one of them. So I worked at the Cheesecake Factory for 6 years. In the last 2.5 years, I came up with this idea to come up with a t-shirt brand called Sleep is for Suckers, because I work all day on my job and all night on my dream. And I was literally trying everything I could to make some money, because I just knew that the Cheesecake Factory was a pit stop. I actually, interesting enough, before the Cheesecake Factory, I never stayed at a job longer than 10 months. So because I would always have this idea and say, yo, I'm just gonna quit, I'm just gonna do my own thing because I don't feel comfortable having a job. But I told myself, working at the Cheesecake Factory, no matter how ambitious I am, I'm going to break this cycle of starting a job and stopping at 10 months. Not for the job, because I knew I'd be an entrepreneur, but I think the problem was I was inconsistent. I'd start, stop, start, stop. I do that in jobs. I do that in relationships. Start, stop, start, stop. Businesses, start, stop, start, stop. So I told myself, I'm going to stay longer than 10 months. And I wound up being there 6 years. And I believe that time at the Cheesecake Factory, when I decided to be consistent and stay somewhere long enough, that's what prepared me for true entrepreneurship. So I was able to leave 2012, and the rest of the story is kind of...
Wow, so here we are at 8 years, but let me pause because I have to pick some things apart. You said consistency. Consistency was that key. The fact that you were no longer a high turnover employee.
Yeah. Right.
At 10 months, and you stayed for 6 years. Why t-shirts? Because everybody has a t-shirt line, right? Ray down on Lee Howell, Bankhead Highway, he got a t-shirt brand. Why did you decide to do it, and what did you put in place that really would let you differentiate yourself from everyone else's shirts?
I never really looked at like saturation in the market, and you think back 2010 when I started, entrepreneurship wasn't as cool as it is now 10 years later. Like, everybody didn't have a motivational clothing brand, so in my mind, I'm like, yo, I'm one of the first doing it right now. So it wasn't really looking at the market, but I actually just talked to somebody, one of my clients, and she said, well, everybody does what I do. I'm like, yo, everybody's not you. That's like saying I'm not gonna open up a restaurant because there are restaurants around here. Yo, actually in car deal, if you notice like car dealers, there's always other car dealerships giving people options. But if I'm loyal to Range Rover and that's my spot, I'm going there. Or if there's 20 restaurants, but I got a secret sauce, it's all about retaining your own particular clients, having your own recurring customers. So I don't really look at what everybody else. Everybody's got a podcast, right? Nowadays, they got the mics you could just put at the house and record your podcast. But everybody's not me, and I'm not even seeing all this other competition. I'm seeing all the people that need me.
And I see Dorito Dave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So every time Dorito Dave rolls up to a chair with a white wall and a rolling chair, we know it's about to be epic. So I see Dorito Dave. But Dave, did you fail? I love trick questions. Did you fail? And why was failure so pivotal?
Over and over again.
How did you overcome that? Most people fail and they're like, oh, that's not for me.
Man.
And like you started off, you said, you're an entrepreneur, so you do a lot of things and you pick up a lot of projects and you run with it. And I was on one of your morning sessions because we like the 8 a.m. wake up call, a little plug, make sure you're on. Yeah. And I remember one of the things you were saying was
themorningmeetup.com. See, he told me the trick. I can just look at the camera.
There you go. Yeah.
Yes.
Themorningmeetup.com. And then we love that because if you're an entrepreneur, I call it the virtual think tank. Yeah. And so I'm my one eye open, admittedly, I'm over there. But I love it. But failure. Why is failure? If you're talking to entrepreneurs right now, why is failure so critical? And I say critical because people try to avoid failure.
Yeah, I think it's a prerequisite. I mean, that's how babies learn how to walk. They take a couple steps, fall, then they get back up and fall, get back up. But if the baby's like, yo, you know what, this walking thing, I'm straight. I'm getting from point A to point B just fine, right?
I'm good on that.
But they just get up and fall. So I was in a company called Prepaid Legal. And in this arena, I never really made any money, but they had these things called the 10 core commitments. And one of them was read 10 pages of a good book a day. And they introduced me to personal development where I can like listen to motivation. It was the oddest thing. I'm like, yo, this is kind of cool though. But I failed in that business, but I took the principles of reading 10 pages of a good book a day with me to the next assignment, right? To the next business. And I got my real estate license in 2005 or 6, right before the worst economic time in America. So that didn't work out, right? But it taught me to read contracts. So now I understand personal development. I know I need to read the contracts, right? I understand deals, I understand negotiations. So literally all of these different failures helped me become this person that I am today. So my advice for most entrepreneurs is just to hurry up and fail. Just get it out the way. Start something for the next 12 months, learn all that you can, forget about the money, forget about the success, just go after something for the next 12 months. Hurry up and fail. Get it out the way, because this would be the worst that you are right now.
But I love how you said that. This will be the worst that you are right now. You open up a lot of your presentations trying to convince entrepreneurs to quit.
Oh yeah, just keep it up.
Trying to convince them to quit. And understanding that 95% of most entrepreneurs, their projections, like you said, like, I'm gonna drop this dope book, bruh, it's gonna be a New York Times bestseller, we're gonna do, we're gonna put out, man, I'm gonna sell 10,000 copies the first day. It's like gonna be a Jay-Z album, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna go double platinum on Amazon.com. And then I wake up that morning and crickets. Right. It ain't even one sale. I done did the Benny Hinn, I'm on showing my book. And people are like, oh, okay. Why do you spend so much effort? I love what you did with Black Wall Street. You're gonna please let us know, where is it? Are you bringing it back? Are you still doing it? I know you have a passion for the kids. But why is it that most entrepreneurs quit? You spend a lot of time trying to convince them to quit.
Yeah,
why do they quit?
Because the expectations are off. You think it's gonna be one thing and it's not, and you're disappointed. So you wanna go to the schools. I try to talk the kids out of entrepreneurship. Like, yo, this is going to be hard. You are going to have a bunch of friends that don't understand. If a kid releases a product, and they have something to sell, and they're selling a product for $5, and they see that their friend has 20, but they're still not going to spend the $5 with the kid. That's heartbreaking, and you're going to lose some friends over that, right?
We do that now as adults, though.
Oh, 100%.
Support, and usually it's those closest to us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I try to talk kids out of entrepreneurship. Yo, just go be a lawyer, go be a doctor, go be something that is safe and secure in your mind. But at every class, there's a couple kids that I can't talk out of building their own. Those are the ones I mentor. Because if I can talk you out of entrepreneurship in 15, 20 minutes, the world is going to talk you out of entrepreneurship for sure. Yeah,
in a day.
Yeah, for sure. So just go after what makes you happy. But some kids, they're like, yo, I got this dream, and I'm not letting it go. So, yes, the Black Wall Street tour was, somebody enlightened me in 2014 on what Black Wall Street was. Area in Tulsa, Oklahoma, all black-owned businesses got bombed. They started building it up again, and they had other situations going on. But I said, yo, this is the coolest concept ever. I didn't know that we had an area where it was all black-owned businesses. So I decided.
Teach that in history books?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
The biggest riot in American history is not in any of the history books.
Not in history books anywhere, right.
So I felt like it's an obligation for us to educate, absolutely. So we bring black business owners to the schools to teach the kids, one, about Black Wall Street, but two, to give them an example of what entrepreneurship looks like. And it looks like me and you, t-shirts, sweats, hat to the back, hoodies. But they only have a few options, right? Being like their parents, being like their teachers, or the dude down the street that looked like he got it all together. I want to be that guy. What did he do to do that?
The man with the suit gets in the nice car at the house with the picket fence, the 2.5 kids and the dog. Yeah. Oh, that illusion. Okay.
Or the drug dealer down the street.
Yeah, Raven. Yeah. I got you.
And it's so funny because their favorite rappers are talking about the dude around the corner that is a trapper. And they were that. So they're like, yo, my favorite rappers, entertainers were that. I see that guy, that's that. I need to be that because I'm not going to be my parents or my teachers. So we have to go to the schools and show them Jason and G. Bryant, who own a gym, multi-million-dollar business. Like we have to come. Yo, yeah, absolutely. Like and the boys
results in 28 days,
killing it. There's a t-shirt brand called, or a clothing brand called Support Black Colleges. Kids are running a 7-figure business, all in their 20s. The kids need to see that. Like, yo, I want to be like that.
Right. So what did you see growing up that made you want to be like this?
Well, I wanted to be a basketball player for a while. And all my friends were basketball players. Then I got a little older. And then I just wanted to make money selling weed. I wasn't that good at it, though.
Okay, yeah, that wasn't it. I was trying to figure out the measurements.
I wasn't that good at it.
Breaking it down.
Yo, no lie. So one time I was in college, and me and my friend, we get pulled over, and like at this point, first off, I was never really making much money. I made enough money to eat for the day.
Gotcha.
I was the worst trapper ever. But I went to jail. We kind of got locked up. They kind of processed us in. And what happened was, this is how I knew it wasn't for me. This ain't got nothing to do with an interview. But there's a phone, and I'm calling somebody to come bail me out. And in the room, there's a door right here. And in the room, I hear beating like, do-do-do-do-do. And I just hear a bunch of craziness. And then the door opens, and it gets super loud. I'm at the phone right here. And we're in Alabama, too. It's crazy. So one guy walks out, and he's like hype. He's like, yo, nah, da-da-da-da-da. And they kind of like, they're containing him and grabbing him out. And then another guy comes out, and he's limping. He clearly lost. That guy lost. Yeah. And like, it's mayhem in there. It's just sound, da-da-da-da. And I'm right here at the phone, making a call, trying to get out of here. And then they close the door. And you can still hear it, but it's faint. And I just had to ask the guy, like, yo, am I going in there? And at this point, I was a rapper, too. So in my raps, I'm busting guns. I'm out here getting, I am a gangster in my raps. I was like, yo, I'm done selling drugs. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I need to figure out something else. And believe it, so some of my friends, they like, yo, hey, that ain't the lifestyle for me, and I am not ashamed to tell it. So I tell that story to the kids because they're being peer pressured to have this particular lifestyle. And I'm like, yo, I don't want that, and it's cool to not want that. Right. I'm smarter than that. Right. So, yeah, I don't know if that question, I don't know where that came from.
I love it. No, because it's real and it's raw because again, I live in the bluff of Atlanta, right? I live in the hood. Like literally my Ring doorbell goes off every night. Did you hear the gunshots? We hear the gunshots. And to me, because I love real estate, I decided to move into my community. Now, so you have your t-shirt brand, you have your coaching, we'll talk about that in a moment, but you also dig into dual real estate. Talk about how real estate is true, why real estate, and how did you diversify? Like what made you go from t-shirts to the stage to real estate?
I'm an entrepreneur. So actually last year I took a hit. I tried this fix and flip, I lost $16,000 on that one. Yeah. It didn't feel good though.
No, it never
You know
does.
But actually, I'm in a property in New Orleans right now, and we actually close this Friday. Okay. So shouts out to my girl Terica Smith, female real estate guru. She builds like she develops developments like it's crazy. She's amazing. So she's kind of mentoring me through the process.
You know, it's amazing. You're a mentor. You are a mentor. You are a coach. So you mean to tell me that we, as in our capacities, we need mentors? How important is mentorship, and how important are relationships? Because I think that most people think we do get it out the mud, right? But it stops with us. Yeah. But again, people don't understand. Collaboration is the key to currency, right? And I'm as good as the relationships that I have. You know, in direct sales, you said prepay legal. We're always taught to, who do you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But again, based on who we know, dictates how well we grow. Yeah. So talk about relationships and how it's so critical to build them, and why they're so important.
I think relationships are everything, just different perspectives. But one thing I am sure of is you'll become who you're around. And not in a cliche way, but when I was a basketball player, all my friends are basketball players. And I wake up every morning like, yo, where are we hooping at? Like after school, I'm looking for this group of people that we're gonna hoop with. That's just who I became. And here's the crazy thing.
You still hoop today.
Oh yeah, a little bit. But I didn't really know anybody that didn't play basketball. And it was like odd to me. If you didn't play basketball, that's the circle I was around. And the reason I got into like selling weed was that's what we did. Like all of my friends did that. When I became an author though, for some reason, all of my friends are authors. To this day, I probably know, like personally, 2 people who have an actual job. It's just the environment. Like every Wednesday, we got a group called Real Entrepreneurs of Atlanta, and we play basketball every Wednesday at LA Fitness. And it's like 20, 30 young black business owners that's there. My man Wall Street Trapper running a 7-figure business. He comes out to hoop. My man Neo running a 7-figure business. He comes out. We just play basketball, which is weird in the middle of the day.
But you're entrepreneurs, so you can play ball in the middle of the day.
Absolutely. But to get that many people together, it's just the relationship. There's nothing So I just got in a Turo. We got about, we have 4 cars on Turo right now. But the only reason we got 4 cars.
Pathway.
Well, so that's Jason's program.
Yes.
My man, Maddie, he got one.
Yes.
But just being in that circle, I'm learning the game. I know my man Maddie got 41 cars. My man, another guy, Mitch, he got like 30-something cars. The least I could do is get 4 or 5. So my point is, when you get into an environment, you become that. And I believe if you have nothing, if you start getting around a certain group of people, you'll become it, period.
Period, hands down. Mentorship.
That's a cheat code.
How many mentors do you have?
A bunch. Just different areas of my life for what I don't know.
So you say that again. So you went and got a mentor for what?
For like different areas. And it's not like I'm seeking out, I gotta have one for it. It's just, if I don't know something and you know it or you're better at it, we're gonna be a connection. I'm gonna figure out what type of value I can give to you. You're gonna give me some value back. Like I need the mentor, spiritual side, my health side, real estate, Turo. I got a mentor for everything.
Financial freedom. What does that mean to you?
I don't know.
You don't know. Are you financially free yet?
By my own standards or somebody else's?
Your standards, because we don't follow norms. The thing about entrepreneurs, last time I checked, entrepreneurs tend to write their own playbooks.
Yeah. So, no. So I got a shirt that says, make $1 million, save $1 million, tithe $1 million. First goal to make $1 million. That would be awesome. But making $1 million and having $1 million saved is a different conversation. But what if you can get to a point where you can give away $1 million and it doesn't affect your lifestyle? I can't give away $1 million yet.
Gotcha. So until you fulfill the prophetic word that you had printed on that shirt, then that will be financial freedom for you?
Maybe, because the ball keeps moving. So when I was right at the Cheesecake Factory, I thought $100,000, that's a mansion. Like I could go anywhere I want. Six figures, and you get to say it. It's real cool for the grand.
$8,333
every month. At the Cheesecake Factory, when I'm making $30,000 a year, making $100,000 is like ultimate success. But you get closer, start making $80,000. You're like, that ain't enough. Now I need to get to $20,000 a month. And when you get to $20,000, you're like, what am I going to do with this $20,000, right? And you get to $40,000, you're like, yo, I got some friends that are making $100,000. So I'm trying to get to that $100,000 a month. So do we have to worry about things financially? No. But financial freedom, I'm not free to give away all that I want to give, so it's not so much.
So you, like every other entrepreneur, got struck by COVID-19, meaning your business impacted as a result of COVID-19. I remember at the beginning of COVID-19, you were planning Social Proof. See, I watch everything. You were planning Social Proof, and you had 500 plus people locked in, ticket spot. I was mad at myself because I didn't buy it, and I didn't get my VIP spot. But then COVID hit, and suddenly they said no more than 6 people, 10 people, rooms, can't have big crowds, and instantly you pivoted. Yeah. How was your businesses affected as a result? We'll talk about Social Proof because I watch you, and I would love for you to share advice because a lot of people, even understanding the climate, are refusing to pivot, and their businesses are dying. So when did you know? When did you know to do it? How is it affecting you now?
We were holding on some hope for a while that we'll still be able to do it. We'll still be able to do it, but about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks before the event, that's when they shut it down. Like, yo, it's illegal to do it now. And we just had to go online. We had to go online. It wasn't like shut it down. It wasn't cancel it. And the crazy thing is, we didn't have like no platform like a conferencing platform. Right. We went and got 3 Zoom accounts and a Facebook group, and telling people at this time, click this Zoom link, and you'll be in this particular room.
Wow.
We had to do what we had to do. Wow. Oddly enough, it was still extremely profitable, but I wanted to have 1,500 people there. We wound up with 500 or 600. Okay. So I wanted 1,500. So.
How did it affect your other businesses, the being in the mall and the retail space?
It's the best year ever.
Really? Why?
I don't know, but they pump so much money in the economy, people are spending. I got like some high ticket, I think she wants to give me something. She tried so hard to be discreet. There you go. All right, so I got like some high ticket programs and people are dropping the money.
Wow.
I mean, the kiosk now is having its best months ever since 2012.
Did you do anything different, or are you just choosing to stay exactly the same?
I stayed consistent.
You stayed consistent. There goes that word again. Yeah. So you didn't have to go out there and like mark all your shirts down for dollars.
Nah, that was a belief that was being pumped through. So in my circle of friends, no one took an L. Everybody 2x their income, 3x, 4x their income.
And again, back to the environment of who you surround yourself with.
But there are some circles where the world is over, and we clam up, and we save on, we hold on to our money. I'm having the best year financially I've ever had.
Wow. Well, so I was on one of the morning meetups, and you said that you had decided to scale back some of the things that you were doing. Talk about that. Why?
Just focus.
Do you find that doing too many things?
Yeah. I feel like I'm Superman. I feel like I can do it all.
Right.
But at some point, you just got to lock in and focus. So right now, I'm locked in on my podcast. And anything I lock in on grows. So me locking in on my podcast, we went from 8,000 subscribers in like August to 55,000. Right. Because I decided to lock in and focus.
And be intentional. So again, in terms of the direction of where your business is going, I'm going to dig a little purpose. We'll come back to that. Married, father, like literally. I looked up one day and my brother was married. He was
Yeah.
a father. His children. I mean, literally the entrepreneur, because you're always going.
Yeah.
You're always on the road. You're always on planes, and we're like, whoa, wait, what? We missed the whole time. What happened? How does that? I hate the word balance, but how do you balance all of that? Like, how do you bring it around so that your beautiful bride doesn't miss or feel, and your family still gets to have touch David, but David's all over the world. You're in California, you're on planes, you're at ET, you're doing your thing. How do you balance it all?
I don't. I don't. Not at all. Not even close to balance.
Well, what do you do to?
I'm working on it. I try to, I come home earlier. So I try to be home by like 5, 6 o'clock. So even like this evening is a rarity for me to leave the house.
Thank you
at
so
7
much.
o'clock.
To your beautiful bride, thank you. We appreciate them.
As you grow, you have to adjust. You know what I mean? So it's still not balanced, right? Because no matter how much time I spend at home, I should be spending more. No matter how much I do for my wife, I should be doing more. Like, so it's not balanced. It's just every day you do what you can and be mindful of every area of your life. So I guess to answer your question, one of my things in balancing is I just try to come home earlier and spend time and try to wrap up my day. And oddly enough, me ending my day at 5 versus 10 o'clock at night, I've seen no difference. Like, I just pack it in.
The fact that you ended, you must start at 4.
Oh, nah, start with the morning call at 8.
Wow, so you're an entrepreneur that can literally say he does an 8 to 5.
Yeah.
How? Oh my God, how? How's that possible?
So,
I'm inspired.
if you had less hours in the day, you would just maximize the less hours. So if we look at our schedule truly, there are so many gaps in there, or busy work, or focusing on things that won't give us the greatest return. So I map out my day before my day gets started. So I used to just wake up and just grind and just whatever the day gives me, I just tackle it. But I'm structuring my day, knocking out the most important things first. The rest I'll do tomorrow.
Pain points. What pain points do you have? What's driving you? Because usually behind everything that we do, there's something that was there that was deep and it drove us to become what we've become. What's driving you?
Honestly, I think it's the game. You ask any basketball player, it's not like a reward. It's like, yo, I want to win the game because that's what I do. I win. I love the game. So people that watch like football religiously, like, why do you love football so much? I love the game. So that's why I build the things that I build, because I love the game. And when people find out what game they love, that's when they'll be successful in it.
Gotcha. So if I were to say, like, okay, I've watched and I've been able to sit back on the sidelines. Like you said, you jumped in the twirl now. That wasn't even in my notes. I feel like I'm missing something, right? But you have so much happening. What's the goal? When do you stop? When you can tie the million, or do you have a date on it? And I'm saying that in the context of how important is it to declare the goals, to give yourself, to set these expectations that you say most entrepreneurs don't set the right ones, which is why they fail. So in terms of where David Never Sleeps is going, Social Proof Podcast, we'll talk about that in a moment, because I really want to understand why you even built that platform, right? But what's the date? Why is it important for people to state their goals, write them down, and move forward?
Yeah, really good question. The goal is to live a fulfilled life.
What does that mean? Can you dig?
Yeah, absolutely. To do all that I can while I'm here. Right? If somebody gave me $100 million, I'm not going to sit down. Again, I love the game. That's my fulfilled life is to go out and do something and teach somebody how I did it. I'll never stop going to schools. I don't care how much money I make. I'll never stop building stuff. I love the game. So I have a content creation studio / event space, and I actually just bought a building not far around the corner from it that we're building a podcasting studio / event space. And one, I believe that, that I just love the game, but two, people need a place to come podcast. So I have 4 different podcasting booths, so somebody can get their voice out there at a low rate. So literally, you can have your own podcast and running your show for less than $300 a month. But I got to build that for other people to get their voice out to the world.
Is that how Social Proof was born?
I've been doing events forever.
That I have, but you turned it into a whole podcast.
Yeah. Oh, the Social Proof podcast?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So let me tell you, this is how it was. So I have an event coming up, Social Proof Conference. And my goal was to interview the speakers of the conference so that the audience will see, get to know the people that are going to speak. Because if I put the interview out there and they like the interview, they'll buy tickets to see them in person. That was the game. So that's my format for all my conferences. If I do a conference, we're going to have 30, 40 speakers. I'm interviewing all of them so the audience can get to know them. But not for views. I want you to want to say, yo, I need to meet this person at the conference.
Wow. Yeah. And so David is a person, if you're watching, who he literally can find a lesson in everything that he touches. And so I want you to tell us about the lesson you got from Joe and Donnie.
From Joe and Donnie? Oh, Joe.
Yeah, Joe and Donnie. Because the world didn't get everybody didn't hear that. Right, because I love how you literally, if you follow David on Instagram at Sleep is for Suckers, you will learn lessons every single day. He does great with stick figures, by the way. But again, talk about the lessons that some of the key lessons that you've picked up on your journey. Talk about Joe and Donnie.
The greatest marketers in the world are Joe and Donnie. So here's the thing. I don't even know, y'all personal situation where you at, demographic, but I know y'all got some text messages from random people advising you to come vote.
Yes.
Yo, you couldn't turn on a YouTube video, TV, nothing without them telling you to vote. Mail-in ballots, people calling, texting, leaving voicemails, Instagram ads, Facebook ads, YouTube. They're the most effective marketers I've ever seen in my entire life, both Joe and Donnie. So what that taught me is I need to create my marketing mix. Some people just post on social media, but you can do social media, getting people to a text list and text them a couple times a week, or get their email and market it to them through email, run some ads. They were so in your face. So I learned that from Joe and Donnie over the last few months.
I mean, I'm waking up to text messages.
They were vicious. Yo, first off, how you get my number?
Right, where did you get my number? And my name is not Valerie.
Look, and then they be so friendly, hey, David, I just wanted to invite you on out. I'm like, what? You don't know me.
And one day I responded, and they wrote back.
Really?
And then I was like, I already voted. I early voted. Well, could you refer 3 people to go vote? I was like, absolutely. And then they wrote back again and said, well, do you know who those 3 people would be? And I'm like, did you want me to text you their names?
Who trained these people?
Where? And what system? First of all, I want access to the system, right? How much is the system so we can buy our way into it? So, with that being said, and again, the greatest marketing, I'm a new business. I'm just getting launched. How can I market my business cost effectively? What do you recommend? Because I think you said social media, maybe that's just a tag. Social media is not real.
Yeah. Social media is definitely a tool. But I think before we even start marketing, you have to truly believe in the product, what you're selling, because people can feel that, right? And you also have to have a story behind it, because if you could sell somebody the story, they'll give you money for the product, no problem. But you can tell when you talk to somebody, I got this little boutique, and just working on it. I'm not coming at you, okay? We just had a conversation. It was just an example, it wasn't you. So, when I was talking about my t-shirt brand, I'm not letting you go until you understand the mission of this thing.
Right.
And people will pay you just to end the conversation sometimes. All right, let me get a shirt.
Right.
I've had people where I'm talking about my t-shirt brand, especially in the early days, where they're like, wow, that's amazing, man. You know what? I'm gonna get a shirt. Show me what you got. Meaning they're making a commitment to buy from me before they even see one that they like. Meaning I'm doing my job. I've transferred some sort of energy to you. If you're a videographer, you need to start painting a picture of what my content could look like before you even see my work. I've had some videographers, yo, I feel like you should do this and that. And I'm like, yo, how much you charge? Let's set it up. Right. I didn't even see their work yet. But there's got to be a transfer of energy. And that'd be the best marketing you could do until you figure out how to create content, how to run ads, things of that nature.
Delegation. I want to talk about delegation because when I first met you, you were the hardest working, kiosk pushing, meeting people everywhere, all day, every day, like literally, like you look like you were having an absolute blast up there for 12, 14 hours a day, pushing shirts. Yeah, man. How important is delegation now? And when did you decide to walk away from your baby? I know you still show up there on Sundays, right. But when did you decide to walk away from your baby and feel that you were comfortable enough to let someone else hold it?
Yeah, well, when I realized grinding used to be cool. It was a tagline where everybody would yell, I'm just grinding, I'm grinding. It used to be cool, but building is cooler than grinding. And you can't build effectively if you're grinding, if you're in the work, because your head's down, you're working, but you can't see anything else. So I realized that I have to maximize my time. This is how I can be home at 5 o'clock, because the things that don't need my attention, my hands touching it, I delegate to somebody else, and I can go do what I do. And if you have 3 different people working on different projects, you can be home by 5 o'clock and still be 3 times as effective as you normally are.
And those 3 people, because you have gone from employee to employer, how do you train your people to catch on to your belief? Because again, we know from sales, I can't sell anything that I don't believe in. I can't sell a dream looking like a nightmare. And no one will take care of your baby the way you take care of it. So how do you find and attract those people who will come and work your vision and do it the way you do it?
Finding them, I'm not sure, because I never went out to find anybody, but attracting people has been kind of like my secret sauce, because...
Tell us the recipe.
Okay.
I know it's a secret, but give us some. You know, you gotta give us that.
I'm gonna give you the
special
secret.
Sauce from McDonald's on the Big Mac. Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the key. Okay, so the secret is to do all that you can by yourself and do it with amazing energy. So I'm moving forward, and there are a lot of people who can't, not saying can't, but aren't really the type of people that's gonna build themselves. So a lot of people are attracted to that. So some people are looking for a team, and I've never had to find a team because I am a moving train, and people wanna follow that moving train. Like dogs aren't chasing parked cars. No. So as I'm moving, so I built a coaching community, and I'm on it every day, and we're really getting it in. I'm coaching, I'm training. One of my students, his name is Jovan, he said, yo, I love what you're doing. I have this particular skill set. I can help you out. Now he manages the E-complex. Wow. I don't know what's going on at the E-complex. I have to call him and ask him if I can do my podcast at the complex, because he manages it, and he has just a special set of skills. But I didn't try to recruit him. He saw what I was doing, and I'm gonna do everything I can on my own, and he came. So my partner, Jen, she came through my coaching program, and she's like, yo, Dave, I see some holes in your process. I'm like, all right, cool, what do you do? She's telling me. So we've been rocking for a good little while now. Wow. The young lady who does my email, she came through my coaching program. Wow. Brandon, my partner in the E-complex, he came because I was doing videos on YouTube. He said, yo, I love your videos. I'm in Atlanta. I just quit my job. I love to record with you. So he started doing all my videos for free. And now he just told me he's doing $25,000, $30,000 a month. Wow. But and then we built the E-complex together. So I don't know if I'm a good recruiter of talent, but I'm going, period. If people believe that, they'll follow you.
Wow. I love it. And of course, duplication is key, right, in business. Relationships are key. Taking care of people
100%
are key. Service, what does service mean to you? You know, again, I know you're a man of faith as well. And so service is so critical. And I think, okay, our brown businesses, right, struggle. And I think it's some business, I think the death of any business is poor customer service. you as an owner always, like, literally, if I didn't know you, I would just think you were the most bubbly guy that works at the t-shirt place and literally sells. Like, I can't come to the kiosk and not buy something, right? You just kind of, it's
Good luck
it's
too.
an
You dropped a
attraction.
little bag the other day too. Good luck.
Shit, you know,
Appreciate
thanks.
that, family.
We got to support each other, and I'm rocking it. Service. How important is customer service? And I know there's levels to it. And so how important is that to your business model? And how do you, again, pass that down?
It's vital. And we don't even teach customer service. We teach people service. Because the people that come up aren't customers, they're people. If you treat people right, they'll become your customers. So you just have to be the type of person that treats people right. So it's not a customer service training that I do on my team or in my organization. It's how would you treat a person? So outside of working at this establishment, if you see a young lady, are you gonna open the door? If somebody cuts you off in traffic, do you yell and scream at them? Or you say, yo, they must really have somewhere to go. You just have to be the type of person that has a heart for people. And then the customer service elements
It's natural
comes with it.
flows. Yeah, so you mean to tell me that, if I don't like people, I probably shouldn't be in this business. I shouldn't be an entrepreneur if I don't like people.
Yeah, you should do something where you don't have to talk or touch people.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like know your strengths. Not everybody into that.
Right.
But don't play a role that you're not fit for or that you don't even want to play. You know what I mean?
How many touches do you have with the people that you serve?
I don't know. I'm always
So building a brand and building a business.
For us, I'm on themorningmeetup.com. Themorningmeetup.com. We get together every single morning, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. every single morning. Entrepreneurs from all across the country. Like we literally have 130 to 160 entrepreneurs that check in every single month, and it's not free. It's a monthly subscription, but they gather, and I get to touch them every single morning. I get to teach them every single morning, and and I'm so confident you can start out for $1 trial. You come on for $1 for 7 days. If you like it, stay. If not, you can leave. It's cool with me, but I have to touch people. It's just my particular passion.
Okay. So I've hit the author. No, I haven't. Your books. Your books are dope, first of all. Networking, no. Right? And of course, the key book.
Dreams are built overnight.
Dreams are built overnight. Talk about that book. What made you write that? And share it with them.
Really cool story. Okay, so we were talking about it, so you get to hear the story again. Eric Thomas told me I need to write a book. I said, okay. You said I don't got a whole lot of questions to ask. One thing he said was, you need this is while I had a job at the Cheesecake Factory. He said, you got to quit that job. I said, okay. Put a plan together. We quit the job. Then he said, you got to write a book because you're an inspiration, speaker. I said, okay, cool. So I'm trying to write this book for probably a year and a half. 2012, I opened my first kiosk, and then 2013, I opened another kiosk. 2014, I opened a store in South DeKalb Mall. You remember South DeKalb? And when I opened the store, I shut down the other kiosks. I'm like, I don't need 2 kiosks in the same mall, so I have one in Cumberland, store in South DeKalb Mall. A few months after I opened, South DeKalb Mall wants to move me because DTLR wants my space. And because I'm like the little guy, I'm the small guy. Like I'm what they call a temporary tenant. In DTLR, they're signing 10 years or more, right? And they didn't even give me a chance to sign a long-term contract. So they wound up taking the store from me. And when I lost the store, I finished the book. The cool thing is, if I didn't lose the store, if the store wasn't taken from me, I'd have never wrote the book. And if I'd have never wrote the book, I wouldn't have been on tour with ET. If I'd have never been on tour with ET, I probably wouldn't have this dope community of people that I'm teaching every single day. So I believe sometimes God has to take good because you're not going to let go of good. God's got to take it so that you can go find great. You know what I mean? So it sucked at the moment. I put $30,000 into the store trying to get this thing going. 6 months later, they take it.
Wow.
But if that didn't happen,
You would never wrote the book, which is a bestseller.
yeah.
And now it's taking you all over the world. Yeah. Wow. My goodness. I get excited because every time I see you, you're somewhere else, you're doing something else. And I was blessed to be a part of the Black Wall Street movement, to be able to pour into.
That was cool. You came to Florida with us,
Yes,
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
on
we
that
had like
airline
20
that kept
people.
opening the door and closing the door. And
Yo, we
20
took,
people going to photo.
we took like 20 people from Atlanta, bought their own ticket to fly down to a high school in Kissimmee, Florida.
And I still have that
We
picture. Those
took
kids.
over the school.
Those kids. Do you hear from the kids now? Like, do you get the stories?
Every now and again, yeah, they reach out to me. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But one kid, he was at the. I'm running into them now more often because they like graduate and doing cool stuff. I actually went to the bank and one of the kids, he said, "Oh my gosh, Mr. Shands, you came to my school X amount of years ago." I'm like, I remember the principals. I'm working on my business. I said, "That's cool."
Wow.
That's cool.
He didn't. He's one of those ones that didn't quit.
Yeah.
You couldn't talk out of it and to build it. Wow. Okay. So you're a master of behavior, and I know because I'm really trying to get into that class.
You missed it. We just did one.
For them to, I was on the list, and I was supposed to get an email, but okay. So next one comes. Run that. But
Sure.
you're a master of behavior. How important is it to understand behavior in business and to go through the DISC? Because again, I'm a DI.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a DI, and then there's like the C that like creeps up 75% of the way, and I'm like, how is it? I'm like 3 strong.
Well, I gotta go over your assessment with you.
Yeah, it's bananas. But
Yeah.
how important is it for entrepreneurs to have one personal development? You talked about that. Mm-hmm. You do ongoing education and training. You have the coaching and mentor. But I really love what you do with DISC. Mm-hmm. And at first I think I saw E.T. was talking about it, and then I saw you go and do it. And now it's so quintessential to have it. How important is behavior and understanding it to the success of an entrepreneur?
It's vital. They did a study of 97,000 really high performers, people that are like at the top of their game, winning. And they're trying to find out what are the common threads between high performers? Like, are they all driving and demanding? Are they all leaders? Are they all like super passionate? And they found out that none of that was true. Like, there's no common thread in terms of the behavior. But what they did find is that 85% of these high performers possess 2 things: self-awareness and authenticity. Self-awareness meaning I know who I am and I know what I'm not. So I know I'm not organized. But I used to try to be organized because they said, as a business owner, you gotta be organized, you gotta follow up. So it takes me so much energy to follow up with people. It takes me 2 weeks to clean my office. I got a young lady coming to my office tomorrow to clean up my office. Why? Because I know that's not the best use of my energy. But if we try to become something that we're not, it's almost like writing with our opposite hand. Are you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm right-handed.
If you try to write your name with your left hand, just imagine. It'll be super awkward. It takes so much energy because you got to focus. Can't nobody talk to you while you're doing it because you're trying to figure it out. But anytime we're not using our strength, it's like we're writing with our left hand. It takes too much energy to get it wrong. Like, it's still not going to look good. And you put all the energy in it. So self-awareness. I know what I am and I know what I'm not. So for instance, I'm a high I, low D.
Have fun. Life of the party.
I love the life of the party, right?
Yes.
So, but the D measures how you tend to approach problems and make decisions. So high Ds, they go straight at the problem.
Yes.
They're lions, just aggressive. I'm having a problem closing deals or asking people for money because typically if your I is higher than your D in terms of the assessment, you'll sacrifice the result for the experience. Like, I want people to have a good experience. And I'm not really thinking about the result. Which, if somebody says, all right, Dave, how much is it to come speak? And I say, all right, it's gonna be $4,000. They say, well, we only have like 300, man, but we really would love to, da-da-da.
It's not gonna work.
I'm the type to say, all right, man, I love what you're doing. I got you. But I realized that I had to get off the phone when we started talking about money because I'm not going to close the deal because I want the experience, not the result. So what I had to do was put a buffer between me and the money. So I have to have somebody on the phone that's not so focused on the experience, but they're focused on getting the result. No, it charges $4,000.
Exactly.
Go get some more money.
Right.
And I don't need to be in that conversation. But if I keep trying to close my deals, it's me writing with my left hand. It's awkward. So that, it's really, really important.
I love it. And so you teach it now.
Yeah.
I'm
You got to.
I trained on it, but never got certified in it. It's dope. Like, you really have to.
Our students is getting better. They get into the bag too.
Right. They get into the bag because, again, they become self-aware. And I'll help close out on this note. Authenticity. Why? I mean, there's so many people out here posting who they're not, right? And I think the thing that makes us so unique, and people say to me, I probably change my hair 5 times a week. 7 depends on. Some days just cornrows. It's like whatever my mood is. But I still reach who I need to reach because this is me, right? I wasn't coming up in here in a suit today because my audience needs to understand this brand and why David Shands is so dope. But that's my most authentic self. So today we're gonna pull out the colorful hair, we're gonna break out the, we're gonna bring it all to the table. But this is what reaches people because like you said, people think that what they see, only what they see is it. So how important is it for you and to you to bring your most authentic self wherever you go?
Good question. So the self-awareness goes into me understanding who I am and who I'm not. Authenticity means walking in it. So I could beat on my chest and say I'm this super aggressive entrepreneur, but that's not me being authentic. Meaning it's never going to come out as good as it is with my right hand. It takes less energy. So walking in who you are, that's what attracts people because the hardest thing for people to do, especially nowadays, is to be themselves. Especially seeing what we see on social media. I'm not super into high ticket items like that, but all my friends are. So I try to be the person that's gonna close a $5,000 deal. That's not me. That's not me being authentic. What I can do is love on people and get them excited and bring them to a website where my assistant, she puts together the website and the system sells the high ticket program. So if I try to get on the phone and close people, it'll never work. So
you found a way.
You have to understand who you are and not be afraid to walk in that and not be afraid to be vulnerable and say, yo, I'm not organized. I'm just not. Like my level of stabilizing an environment, that's not my thing. I'm more spontaneous.
And see, I'm the person that when I wake up in the morning, if my house is not cleaned, my day is wrecked. Until I scrub it and smell the pine saw and the fabuloso and my dog is eating, like I have to have that. So now I can send my energy and not worry about the dirty dish that's gonna be like, ugh.
Imagine trying to ignore that feeling. You just, yo, I can't do that right now. Your whole day is gonna be off.
Whole day is off. Like I'm the chick that has to have her bed made when I get out. Like it's just something with, that's that marine, right? So to your point, when you understand who you are, then you operate in it. Because most people know, I have OCD, it's so bad. It's like, anybody in my house, right? I have it really bad. I have OCD really bad. So again, falling in love with who you are. And I'm so grateful that you shared time with us today.
Thanks for having me.
What parting words can you give out to the world?
And
tell us how to connect with you, please.
Yeah, for sure. Do what makes you happy. I'm always just looking to do what makes me happy. And maybe not instant gratification, but get into something that makes you happy. Okay? If doing real estate doesn't make you happy, just don't do it. Like, find something that truly makes you happy and do that every day of your life.
Wow. I call that resonance. I just recently did a master course with Susie Bates, who is the founder. I did an 8-week course with her. It's called Alive. And it was so dope, like 8 weeks. This is a woman that created Poopery. Yes, I mean, she's like, literally, she created Poopery, and I sat in her master class for 8 weeks, and the whole 8 weeks was about resonance. So many people are walking around doing things because they want to pay the bills, and they're miserable, right? And they've been taught in their mindset that you gotta be stable, you gotta have that good job, and shame on you for trying to think out the box. And to your point, I just want to piggyback on that. Finding true resonance versus operating in the space of dissonance is misery. If I'm not talking and helping people wake the heck up and live and speak and find their voice, man, you might as well call it a day. But the same token, if I can't tear down a wall in a house and watch that house be built and then come back with my Martha Stewart float and decorated and painted and give me them shaker cabinets and let's go ahead and put them blue bubbles on the wall, that's what makes me happy. And so just to collaborate with you on that, do what makes you happy. Find people that are going in the same direction as you or have similar interests to you that you can lock arms with. Because honestly, I don't know other people other than my circle has David Shands in it, right? And we're all less than 6 degrees separation from the other people that are helping to make you so great. So thank you so much.
Thanks for
I
having me.
wish you such continued success. And I got to get out to the complex. You know, I've not been out there.
Never? Oh. Okay, we're gonna kick off some more events. No.
Just
I
trying
got
to
you.
get on
Got
the
to.
podcast. Oh, shameless plug.
Oh, let's do it.
How do we reach you? And of course, we miss Social Proof, but I want people to understand you do this bomb conference every year.
I'm trying to figure out how we're going to do it now. We're going to do it in April, but it's going to be live, online, half live, half online. I'm not 100% sure yet, but we'll do it in April. But yeah, you can reach me every single morning, themorningmeetup.com. Just try it out for $1. And, I'm on there every day. So it's not like I got recordings or I got other. Now I do have like special guests and stuff like that. But themorningmeetup.com. My website is davidneversleeps.com. You can pick up some gear at sleepisfour with the number 4 suckers.com. You sleep like you're rich. I'm up like I'm broke.
Daily, man.
And yeah, man, follow me on Instagram at sleepisfoursuckers.
Well, guys, you heard it from the master. Definitely personal development training. He does a bomb certification as well for those of you who are already coaches and you want to take your business to another level.
Thefourthpower.com. Thefourthpower.com.
And of course, it's been your girl, Coach Chi, here at She Speaks. We love you, and as always, we'll see you at the top because the bottom is just too crowded. Good night, everybody.
Yeah.